Universe has its premiere, teaming up Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, and Captain America after each starred in their own individual movies. It became the highest grossing film of the year and the first Marvel production to top $1 billion in worldwide ticket sales.
And that's the Week in Hollywood History on iHeartRadio. This is Fox Sports 980 and 95.9 FM. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Everybody get up.
One where it's red and it turns into black, like as an alternate, kind of like the old San Diego State football helmets.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan. I just think they missed the mark.
All right, we'll get into that one with game time, I'm sure. Cam Jordan's going to join us. Tom Curran's going to join us, Patriots Insider. Look, when you let people in on your personal life and you're a superstar, you win. When you let people in on your personal life and your own missteps in your marriage, there's no way it's anything but a win. But to me, there's another level to this. Tom Brady said this about Giselle.
She didn't feel like I was doing my part for the family, you know, and she felt like I would play football all season, and she would take care of the house. And then all of a sudden, when the season would end, I'd be like, great, let me get into all my other business activities. I had to, like, check myself, because she's like, I have goals and dreams, too. It's just not to, you know, do these things either. So you better start, you know, taking care of things at the house. She actually wrote me a letter, and it was a very thought-out letter that, you know, she wrote it to me, and I still have it. And, you know, I keep it in a drawer, and I read it. You know, and it's a very heartfelt letter for her to say, this is where I'm at in our marriage.
Wow. Right? Like, we're all, as sports fans, going to get caught up in other stuff, but that's a wow. Marriage is not easy. There are parts of it which you cannot possibly comprehend how great they are. There are parts of it which are really, really hard, and Brady, who had a long relationship with Bridget Moynihan, right, and has a child with Bridget before Giselle, and now has been married to Giselle, has a kid with Giselle. I mean, like, him letting us in on, she wrote him a letter like, this ain't working, bro. And now he had to his own words, check himself. So, wow. But it also tells you what I've been saying for a couple of years, which is, dude, there's a reason he's not going to OTAs. And she keeps, she volunteered that he had concussions. She don't want to play football. She plays a bigger role in this. Any guy who's ever been married, like I don't know anybody who has a marriage that they may never say it, but that shapes who you are and your decisions. You have kids, it's going to change your motivation. Obviously, everybody wants to play in front of their kids and be revered by their children. I mean, who doesn't? Look, LeBron with kids, one of the reasons he wants to keep playing is he wants to play with Bronny. It's a dangerous game. She also is a super successful, likely a type A. I don't know her, and I'm sure she's very different than how she's perceived. But you can't be that successful a businesswoman and not be super hyper-focused when it's time to lock in on work. Doesn't mean she doesn't like being a mother. It just means that she's got her own thing. And I do wonder if her pushing for more time and more investment by him in the family isn't also something that led him to Tampa. Not just in terms of location, as he wants to get to New York, where they're going to kind of be headquartered in, and she supposedly wanted to live in Miami. But also, like, Bruce Arians is not a super grinder. He's a drinks at 5 kind of guy. You're going to have people who didn't get to interview Tom Brady, and definitely didn't get him for over an hour straight, are going to say, he didn't say anything. I thought he said a lot. He told us he was kind of done before the season started. He told us he didn't really trust his wide receivers. He told us that you can't have, that it was a really respectful way of saying that Belichick wouldn't be Belichick without him, but he wouldn't be, he even said, I wouldn't have achieved what I achieved if it wasn't for being with Bill Belichick. It was, we'll get to that later, but it was mutual respect. But letting us in on his relationship and his wife writing him a letter saying, this ain't good enough, I need more. And Tom Brady evolving into what he feels like is in fact more. Was the type of stuff we never, have you ever heard that from a superstar athlete? I can't think of it. It is a lesson though, music, for you when you get married. When you stop communicating, the relationship stops. Whether it's a letter or a conversation, like, don't let it fester. And don't be our parents who go off and like just keep things to themselves, grumble underneath. Sometimes you got to get things off your chest before you hit the breaking point of having to go your separate ways. Let's get you to Dan Byer, find out what else is going on. Davey, what do you got?
Bill Belichick is Tom Brady's old head coach. His new head coach is Bruce Arians. And in that interview with Howard Stern today, Brady shed light about the new man.
Coaching obviously was important, and hugely important, and he has a different way about him, but it's authentic to him. And I think the best thing for a coach to be is authentic to who you are. So he's definitely someone who tells you straight, which I appreciate that too.
Brady talking about the new man in his life, Buccaneers head coach Bruce Arians. NFL expected to do a dry run of the NFL draft with all 32 teams to make sure there are no hiccups in the selection process, according to the NFL Network. And as Doug mentioned, the Atlanta Falcons unveiled their new uniforms today. The Chicago Bulls reportedly interviewed former Sixers president Brian Colangelo to lead their front office. That's according to The Athletic. Doug, back to you.
Doug Outlet Show, Fox Sports Radio. Cam Jordan joins us. Saints superstar defensive end. Did you listen to the Brady interview? Have you heard clips? What do you know about Tom Brady's interview with Howard Stern?
I have not. I would say as much content has been on, and as much as we're at the house, listen to everything that he's reviewed on the latest sports. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. Our connection's pretty good. I'll play for you a couple cuts. You tell me what you think. Fair enough?
For sure.
All right. By the way, Cam Jordan, who at some point is going to take either my job or Colin's job, whatever. You ever heard him? He's brilliant on TV and on radio. He joins us on the Doug Gottlieb Show on on Fox Sports Radio. Here's Tom Brady when he was asked by Howard Stern when he made it up in his mind that he was going to leave.
I don't think there was a final decision, until it happened. But I would say I probably knew before the start of last season that it was my last year. I knew that, it was just our time was coming to an end.
What's your reaction to that?
To say that I knew before season. This is the Patriots are talking about. This is Tom Brady and Bill Belichick at his finest. Somebody who is going to win their AFC North Division. Somebody who's going to go to the playoffs, knowing that they're a championship caliber type of team. To say you knew before season, that's pure deterioration of relationship between the coach and player at that point.
Well, he said this about, this is why he wanted to be a free agent.
I wanted to make a decision I thought where I could really excel as a player. That's what it came down to. Where could I really excel and achieve and bring my best out? Which environment would be best for me to really excel in? I chose this one, and time will tell, what kind of decision that's made. And all I know is what I can put into it, and that's the process that it is.
You've obviously never been a free agent. You've only been a Saint. What are your thoughts on that portion of his process and why he chose Tampa?
When your growth diminishes, I guess that's something that you have to worry about. He put 20 years in with the Patriots to say that he wants to be in the best position for growth purposes. That's on him. In my mind, I'm just like, why did you have to come to Tampa? Couldn't you just stay? There's plenty of AFC teams. You could have gone to Miami. No, I don't know. You had to come to the NFC South. You had to make my division that much more difficult. Whatever.
Okay, here's the one I think. This is you asked him. You said something about Belichick. This was interesting. He was asked about getting credit for the championships. Take a listen.
To have him allowed me to be the best I could be. So I'm grateful for that. And I very much believe that he feels the same way about me because we've expressed that to each other.
There is this sense, I think, from those of us who don't know, that this is about credit. He seemed to credit both sides. Do you believe it's about credit?
No, I don't know. I don't know the entire dynamic. I know you have a winning formula, 2 decades plus, 3 decades. Another team, it's a quarterback that clearly I may not be in the same tax bracket as.
Yeah, not yet. Next defensive end, New Orleans Saints. He did say this about
nobody's ever been privy to, and nor should they, genuinely how he feels.
This leads us to believe that we are not yet at our peak, and we still need to be very vigilant.
Albany County also warning of possible exposure at the Burger King on Loudon Road in Latham. We have the dates and times of that up at WGY.com. The effects of New York's stay-at-home order and social distancing measures are leading to some cautious optimism from Governor Cuomo.
Because we are flattening the curve by what we are doing. If we stop what we are doing, you will see that curve change. That curve is purely a function of what we do day in and day out. But right now it's flattening. The number of patients hospitalized is down.
And this comes despite 779 more people dying from the virus in New York State in the last 24 hours. Meantime, Cuomo is also looking ahead to the state's June 23rd primary election. He says every New York resident will be able to vote through absentee ballot. Senator Bernie Sanders is bowing out of the Democratic presidential race.
I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful. And so today, I am announcing the suspension of my campaign.
Speaking from his home state of Vermont, Sanders called his rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, a very decent man and promised to work closely with him, but Sanders did not formally endorse Biden during his speech today. For more news, listen to The Daily Dive. The big news stories explained, not shouted. Listen to The Daily Dive each day on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. WGY News Time is 3:34. Our next news update at 4. I'm Diane Donato. The Sean Hannity Show continues in less than 3 minutes on News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. The Capital Region's breaking news, traffic, and weather station.
This hour brought to you by Edelman
American financial engines.
United we stand. That's never been more important than it is today. Now you can show your commitment to our president and the nation with the limited edition Trump 20.
On the team my entire career, so I won't fret about it until it's happened. If he decides to go put on a Tampa Bay jersey one day, I will go after it.
Teddy's going to put on a Carolina Panthers jersey. What's that going to be like?
Hunting Teddy season. I mean, I've stacked him before, you know, when he was wearing purple and gold, so I can do it again with powdered blue and soft gray.
The division did get a little more difficult. Like, look, Jameis has got a ton of talent, but he was just as likely to throw it to you as he was to his own team. How much did the dynamic of the division change with Tampa getting Tom Brady?
I don't know. You talk about the fierce competitor that is Jameis Winston. I mean, with 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, but 2 receivers that go over 1,000 yards, that's tough year in, year out. Just to know that he is a young quarterback with, what, 5 years of experience?
Yeah.
You talk about, you know, if you compare his numbers to Peyton's touchdowns versus interception ratio his first couple of years, I heard the comparison that, you know, Peyton had more interceptions in the first 5 years than David had. So at this point, I mean, you know, when Jameis made the statement that, you know, if he eliminates some of the interceptions, he could be one of the best. That's valid. So, you know, whatever team he lands is going to have a potential to see what his threshold really is. Now you've got Tom Brady, who's been known for the last 20 years to be one of the greats. You got 2 greats in your division, Drew Brees, of course, and Tom Brady. It makes your division that much harder. When you know what Teddy Bridgewater can do, and he goes over and I wouldn't say replace Cam Newton, because as dynamic as Cam Newton is, I don't think there's a quarterback that can do what a healthy Cam Newton can do. You know, you look at Teddy Bridgewater, and you know what he brings to a team on and off the field. That makes our division a little tougher. And then, of course, they go get Robbie Anderson, and they never gave Cam Newton a wide receiver weapon like Robbie Anderson, or, you know, now paired him with Christian McCaffrey, and things go a little tougher.
Yeah.
Our division is looking stacked already, and this is just on paper.
We haven't talked about the Atlanta Falcons. Their big thing is, well, I mean, they did sign Todd Gurley, although he hasn't cleared physical, so they're trying to get real at running back. But they have new uniforms. Have you seen them?
Yeah, I saw those. They, I believe they got them from the Arena League team. So the Arena League collapsed, and they just picked up regular jerseys, right? They just saw what was left over. Yeah, I mean, for the bold and the brave, I guess.
Are you able to train right now? Like, do you have a secret? Do you have a gym at the house? Do you have a secret workout facility where you knock 3 times and you go in the back door like a speakeasy?
I mean, you know, I think with me, I just got, you know, I had a core surgery right after the Super Bowl, so I'm still finishing rehab there. Luckily for me, I get, like, personal one-on-one attention from the Saints right now. I feel overly, I like to say pampered. Like, I have my father time, I go in, we make sure that everything, you know, still trending on the upward of being at 100%. Had, you know, OTA started, I would probably be 100% by then. In the next, you know, week and a half. So I do have to figure out what I'm going to do once I'm 100% healthy, though.
Yeah, because when you, for people to understand, when you rehab, you can go one-on-one with the trainer and go back in the facility. You're the only guys allowed. What is it like to go in that facility and there's nobody there?
Yeah, it's a ghost town. It's a ghost building. I mean, if anything, it lets you focus on what you need to do. I mean, it is intense work here. And, you know, normally, if you have to rehab, it's like, you know, it's like a locker room full of people, you know, it's like you're getting work in, but you're still getting socialized. No, it's straight focus. You do get to, like, at least have somebody who's not your immediate family besides you, which, you know, you get to at least bounce some current events off of them. If you go back to the house and it's just us. So it's intense. I mean, to know that I still have access to facility, I'm over here trying to get my home gym together for, you know, whenever I am 100% healthy, so I can continue training as I've been.
Doug Gottlieb Show, Fox Sports Radio, Cam Jordan. So now are you doing are you going on walks every day? Like, what are you doing when you're back at the house?
We got stationary bikes, we got jump rope. If the kids get in trouble, we're doing push-ups and squats. These might be some of the strongest 3- and 4-year-olds out the game. My son has done no less than like 50 push-ups a day. And at this point, I'm not trying to, like, send him up to his room. No timeouts, no other discipline, straight push-ups. And I'm talking about push-ups. If he gets tired, we're going ISO push-ups. Like, his trap's going to be amazing.
You're not doing ISO push-ups with a 3-year-old. Come on, dude. 4-year-old.
My 3-year-old daughter is like, for some reason, I don't know what to jump between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
4-year-old, he loves push-ups until he gets tired. I said he wants to listen once that 12, 13 push-up comes in. But he's good for 10. He's good for 10. And we can hold it. All right. You don't want to go down anymore? Hold it. He doesn't know the ISO, but they're ISO.
That's amazing. Malcolm Jenkins is coming back. He's been gone for 6 years. What's changed in that building in the 6 years he's been gone?
Man, that was the title win. That was like year 3, and it was like, I was from having so much best leadership from Malcolm Jenkins, Roman Arthur, John Vilma, Will Smith was alive, rest in peace, rest in power. He talked about everything that we had with Cedric Ellis. There were so many veterans on the squad, so when he left 6 years ago, I jumped to being like the forefront of being the oldest guy in the defense. And then, I've sort of held steady since.
Yeah. Now it's your locker room, right? I mean, like, now you're the young pup, now you're the vet, now he comes back in. How does the totem pole work?
I mean, it's still Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, he's still a Pro Bowler, he's still an All-Pro, he's still a guy who's had some of his best years over Philly and won a championship. That's a winning mentality. So I know he's bringing to the DB locker room. You lose Von Bell, and you bring in another Buckeye. They're straight Buckeyes at this point.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
One Buckeye
last thing. One thing you've seen on TV, movies, show, doc, some you'd recommend that you probably wouldn't have watched had you not been on quarantine.
I mean, at this point, I'm like, once basketball went down, I was looking for some sort of sports something. I started watching a CW TV show with Tay Diggs in it, called American.
Yeah.
And it was like, the moment I saw the actual backpedaling, the actual, like, breaking on the ball, this is terrible, I can't do it. But, this background story of it all is what kept us in. Wife loves it, we watch it. I sort of caught up on it. I'm like, all right, this is actually like, it has a decent storyline. But had it been like basketball season, watch a little bit of soccer, football, something, I was like, no, I'm not here for this, whatever this kid is backpedaling. Is he supposed to be? No, I don't. Non-fluid movement hurts my heart.
No, I got it, dude. It's really, really hard to replicate what you guys do for a living. Sports movies are hard to look realistic. Cam, listen, I'm so happy your family is safe and healthy, and look forward to catching up with you in your future. Thanks so much for your analysis on Brady and your thoughts on your division. I'm sure the Atlanta Falcons will be sending you Christmas cards because maybe a jersey because you like their uniform so much.
I would take a Julio Jones jersey draft class 2011, only because it's Julio Jones draft class 2011. And maybe a Matt Ryan, too, because he's been good to me over the last 9 years.
Good stuff. Cam, thanks so much.
No doubt. Thanks for having me on. God bless.
Pleasure is mine. Amari Cooper was very close to leaving the Dallas Cowboys. Real news or fake news? Find out next.
This is the Doug Gottlieb Show on Fox Sports Radio. Let's be honest, we don't need the draft. Not all agree, but the NFL draft will be going on.
The Cincinnati Bengals select,
and we're covering it like we always do. Join us on April 23rd as we find out who's sentenced to the Bengals on Fox Sports Radio.
This is a Jackson Hewitt Tax Service announcement. Last year, did you get a smaller tax refund than you were expecting? Or are you worried you're not getting every dollar you deserve? Then you've got a reason to switch to Jackson Hewitt Tax Service. We know our stuff, and we'll make sure you get your biggest tax refund. Plus, it pays to switch to Jackson Hewitt. Come in today and ask a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro how to get rewarded with $100 when you switch. Get your biggest tax refund. Go to Jackson Hewitt today. That's Jackson Hewitt.
Ready to own your first real home? The road to unrenting can get a bit rocky. It takes a reliable partner to right wrong turns. That's the role of a realtor, an expert voice of reason helping you navigate the rigmarole of real estate. A trusted ally who knows and represents your rights, so you get all the right guidance on your journey home. Is your agent a realtor? Look for the other. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
If you're a pro, Lowe's knows how hard you work every day. good stuff. Some good stuff. Attempted dunk is the key word. All right, there are key words. All right, real news or fake news. The Seahawks remain the front runner for free agent defensive end Jadeveon Clowney.
That is fake news.
You are fake news.
Yeah, that's what Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network told the Seattle radio station yesterday, that the Seahawks made an offer to Clowney. He declined it, and at some point the Seahawks decided that they needed to do other things. So it looks like the Seahawks are out of the running for Clowney. Could be down to the Titans and Browns for the defensive end services.
He's doing what's called chasing the market. I'll explain what that is next hour, but this is, yeah, I mean, look, Seattle wanted to get him on this kind of rate short term and give him a chance, give him a chance to like a proven deal, and he obviously balked at it. He lowered his price, and they walked. So, listen, you can always circle back around. There is no last and final until the end of this round.
Real news or fake news, Bengals wide receiver A.J. Green is still rehabbing from an ankle injury that cost him all of last season.
Fake news.
You are fake news.
The two, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor says that A.J. Green is fully healthy after missing all of last season with that ankle injury. Of course, the Bengals placed the franchise tag on Green. He has yet to sign it.
Yeah, I mean, they'll work out a long-term deal, and we'll see what happens with Andy Dalton, which they also said, Zach Taylor said, all options are on the table. So my guess is that if they can get somebody offers him something for Andy Dalton, they'll trade him. Otherwise, they'll keep him as the veteran quarterback until somebody goes down. If you need a veteran, Andy Dalton's solid.
Real news or fake news, the Washington Redskins almost signed Amari Cooper to a contract this offseason.
I'm in the real news.
Ron Rivera, the Redskins head coach, admitted to talking about a substantial amount of money, but in the end, Cooper signed with the Cowboys, 5 years, $100 million.
And this again is what the new CBA did. It kind of screwed up the Cowboys a little bit, as well as the lack of order of not being able to franchise tag yet. The new CBA, there's only one franchise, one taggee. Otherwise, there could have been
Those are fake.
15 years old.
More revealing that
It was not their tutor gives you nothing. But you can't sit for an hour with Stern, Otherwise, you're just going to talk about boobs all the time and naked stuff and whatever. It was more revealing. He let us in a lot more than I thought he would let us in. He was still Tom Brady. Speaking of Tom Brady, it's not all about credit between him and Bill Belichick. He's right, but he's also wrong. I'll explain next with Doug Gottlieb Show.
Men, with today's health concerns, it's more important than ever to take care of your body. That means eating right, sleeping enough, and maybe even taking supplements. My supplement is M-Drive Elite. Designed to strengthen your body, M-Drive Elite is packed with powerful, clinically tested ingredients, including immune support, all in one easy supplement. M-Drive Elite. Elite testosterone and immune support. Get M-Drive Elite at GNC and Vitamin Shop, or go to mdriveformen.com and use code DRIVE to get 20% off your first M-Drive purchase. Refine your prime with M-Drive.
At AutoZone, we've always been there to help get you what you need when you need it, and that hasn't changed. That's why we want to let you know AutoZone stores are still open. Whether it's a quality part or a free battery test to help you stay on the road, we've got what you need. And if you do happen to need anything fast, we've got free store pickup inside the store or curbside, your choice, as well as next day delivery. Our stores are open and we're ready to help make the job easier. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions. This report is sponsored by could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
A little volume in Latham on the south-south side of Route 9, coming down towards the area of Troy Schenectady Road. Northbound, a good ride out of Latham and right up into Clifton Park. 787, a good ride in both directions, top to bottom. I-90, East Greenbush, right up Northway and Colony. We're in good shape. And the thruway does have construction eastbound coming into 890 and again into the Northway. In neither spot is causing any problem. From the WGY Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Mike Barker.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and auto insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
The Freihofer's Run for Women may not be taking place on the streets of Albany this May, but you can still stay active, celebrate our strength and resilience, and support local charities by registering now for the Freihofer's Run for Women's virtual 5K. Simply complete a 5K run on your own between May 23rd and 31st, and then submit your time. You'll be doing something positive, helping local charities that need our support while receiving some great event swag for your efforts. Sponsored by iHeartRadio. For more information, visit FreihofersRun.com.
At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities, because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open, and since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for, and choose from top brands like Steel, Eagle, Toro, and Scott's. Then you can pick up in store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See AceHardware.com for details.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? Because Allstate says that you can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Drive and save. That's right, 40% just by drive and save. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on driver license, other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
At a young age, I learned to pray. When I was 11 years old, my mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. As the oldest child, I quickly became her secondary caregiver, which has forever shaped me. We helped my mom through multiple recurrences for 4 years before losing her to this devastating disease. At the time, treatment options were limited. All we could do was retreat with chemotherapy and watch and wait and hope. It was so hard for us to hear that the doctors thought they had it, but truly didn't. My time with my mom was cut short. But now, women living with recurrent ovarian cancer have options like maintenance therapies, which can extend their time of response and delay recurrence. These options mean power in an otherwise powerless situation. That's why I stand together with care partners and women living with ovarian cancer to declare Not on My Watch. Visit notonmywatch.com to learn more. You must have thrown 1,000 pitches teaching him to hit a home run. Spent countless Saturdays running routes so he could learn to hit an open receiver. Endless afternoons teaching him how to hit the three-pointer. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit? Teaching boys that all violence against women is wrong is one of the most important things a man can do. Learn how to start the conversation at teachearly.org. Brought to you by Futures Without Violence and the Ad Council.
WOF Extra, WGYFM HD2 Albany, W240EC Albany, Fox Sports.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Number 3030.
iHeartRadio wants to help with a chance at $1,000. Text the nationwide keyword CALM to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
WGY AM Schenectady, WGY FM Albany, an iHeart radio station.
4 o'clock at News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. I'm Jim Gagliardi. Coronavirus updates from Governor Cuomo and also Albany County Health Commissioner Dr. Elizabeth Whalen. Top stories in a minute. First, traffic and weather.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
We are looking at a 10-minute travel time north and south on the Northway from I-90 in Colony, right up into Clifton Park, and it's still a good ride right up into Saratoga Springs and Glens Falls. 5-minute travel time each way on alternate 7 coast to coast, 9 minutes each way on 787 between the Thruway and exit 9, Collar City Bridge. Good ride over in Detroit. From the WGY Price Chopper Market 32 Traffic Center, I'm Mike Barker.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
WGY AccuWeather forecast, partly to mostly cloudy tonight with a shower in places, the low 42. Strong winds tomorrow, periods of rain, the high 52. Mostly cloudy Friday, windy, couple of showers, maybe mixed with snow early in the day, the high 49. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Drew Shannon on News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY.
Some sun, some clouds, 57 degrees at News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. The coronavirus pandemic continues to pummel the United States. Health officials scrambling to find a vaccine. Governor Cuomo speaking today, addressing if things can ever go back to normal.
I think if we're smart, we achieve a new normal. The way we are understanding a new normal when it comes to the economy and a new normal when it comes to the environment. Now we understand the new normal in terms of health and public health.
State of New York saw its highest number of coronavirus deaths in one day, 779, bringing the total number of deaths in New York State to 6,268, many of those in the New York City area. There are now 9 coronavirus-related deaths in Albany County. Woman in her 70s passing away last night. 333 positive cases in the county, 441 under mandatory quarantine, 43 people under precautionary quarantine, 37 people hospitalized, 13 in intensive care. Number of positive cases expect to increase by the end of the week as community testing now underway at UAlbany. Albany County Health Commissioner Dr. Elizabeth Whalen reminding the public that the peak has not yet been reached in our area.
From what we hear from our hospital partners, they are not experiencing the same surge capacity issues that we've been hearing about downstate. All of this leads us to believe that we are not yet at our peak, and we still need to be very vigilant.
Now, Albany County also warning of possible exposure at the Burger King on Loudon Road in Latham. We have the dates and times up on that at WGY.com. The CNBC All-America Economic Survey conducted last Friday through this Monday, finding that 1 in 4 Americans have either lost their job or had their wages or salary reduced in the unprecedented economic slowdown that has come about because of the coronavirus pandemic. Stuyvesant Plaza's owners with some double-barreled help for restaurants in the plaza that are still open for takeout and delivery, and for hospital workers at Albany Med and St. Peter's Hospital. Plaza owners are buying $10,000 in gift cards from the restaurants that are still open and donating them to hospital healthcare workers at the Medical Center and St. Peter's Hospital. Other news. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders bowing out of the Democratic presidential race.
I have concluded that this battle for the Democratic nomination will not be successful. And so today, I am announcing the suspension of my campaign.
Speaking from his home state of Vermont, Sanders called his rival, former Vice President Joe Biden, a very decent man and promised to work closely with him, but Sanders did not formally endorse Biden during his speech today. Now, Biden applauding Bernie Sanders' movement, Biden releasing a statement soon after Sanders suspended his campaign, saying the Vermont senator brought attention to many issues like universal health care and student loan debt. Former Vice President also heaped praise on Sanders as he called his one-time rival a powerful voice for a fairer and more just America. Biden claimed that Sanders put the interest of the nation and the need to defeat Donald Trump above all else. Speaking from his home state of Vermont, Sanders said he's suspending his campaign because he sees no viable path to the Democratic nomination. McDonald's says its global same-store sales for March down about 22% because of the coronavirus pandemic. Fast food giant had reported sales increases of more than a day, though, on Wall Street just before the close. The Dow up 759 points, NASDAQ up 198. On the iHeartRadio app, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. WGY News Time coming up at 4:06. I'm Jim Gagliardi. Next update at 4:30. More Sean Hannity in a minute on News Radio 810 and 103.1 WGY. Capital Region's breaking news, traffic, and weather station.
WGY News brought to you by Fagan. To help to move on even from his best players that he's ever coached. He moved on from Randy Moss. He moved on from Richard Seymour. He's moved on from everybody. Nate Solder he moved on from. Like, go look at it. Doesn't mean he doesn't think they're great players. But there's a point there. And Brady has that same mentality. Brady doesn't realize he was over. He was done. All right. He said on Howard Stern earlier today that he knew he was going to leave probably a year before the year even started. Right? Doesn't mean he prepared any less. Doesn't mean he didn't try harder. Trying hard didn't mean that he got emotional or anything. He knew. Belichick knew. That's why there wasn't. Why didn't the Patriots make some last-second push? Because they knew it was over. they were wired perfectly. Perfectly. You have the one quarterback who was willing to take a little bit less. You have the one quarterback who's willing to sacrifice his ego. You have the one quarterback who's willing to take the verbal lashings. And maybe it all comes from our upbringing, right? Whether it's his parents or the guys he worked with or when he's at Michigan. Never forget, like, he got pulled from games by, was Drew, what's the other quarterback at Michigan? What was the other quarterback at Michigan? Drew Henson. Senior year, Drew Henson. He's going to be the next great one. That helps shape you. That's why Cam Newton can't play in the league right now. Cam Newton couldn't sit behind Tim Tebow. Couldn't do it. Yes, he had to leave Florida because of an off-the-field incident. All right. But if you have ever heard any quotes on Cam Newton or people around Cam Newton, he thought he probably was better than Tim Tebow. But Cam Newton has never been a guy who sat. Didn't sit in high school. He sat for 1 year in college. He went to Blue and he played and set records. Then he goes to Auburn and same thing. Then he goes to the Panthers and he plays right away. Like, he's not a guy. He hasn't ever had to sacrifice. With the exception of that 1 year at Florida, and it was a disaster. And if he knows himself, he can't be that backup. That's not what he's never been wired to be that way. He's never been wired to be a guy that takes less. Tom Brady was asked today about his legacy. He's like, dude, I don't care about my legacy. If you remember, Cam Newton, before he played a game in the NFL, he said, I want to be an icon. I want to be bigger than football. 4 years play a game! And I'm not going to criticize Cam Newton because that was what he was taught at a young age. That's how he was raised. He was so much bigger, so much better, so much stronger and faster that he was able to get away with saying what he wanted, doing what he wanted, and he always got to start, and he always got to play, and he always could run around through over anybody. Brady admitted today on radio he probably couldn't start in a high school team at any other position. And I may be overstating it. Like, he's, what is it, 6'3", 6'4", say 230 pounds. That's what he's playing. He's slow. Not bad. Not explosive. Doesn't lift a lot of weight. Not a lot of electricity. He's amongst the least athletic quarterback and the oldest quarterback in the league. But he can still be crazy effective because he's had to learn how to play lacking speed, lacking agility. But when we do this, look, it's brilliant television. It's brilliant. One side of an argument, other side of an argument, put them in a 2-box and let them have it. It works on Fox News, it works on Fox Sports 1, that one works on all the different networks. Sometimes, though, it's not an either-or proposition. Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. Well, you know, Luke Walton coached them a bunch of wins, and when Steve Kerr didn't have players this year, they didn't win games. Okay, well, Steph Curry never won anything until Steve Kerr became his coach. You got the perfect coach and the perfect player for that perfect coach. It's the same thing. If you don't think that coaching matters, why the hell do you think the Warriors were the best third quarter team when they won championships? Third quarter's the adjustment quarter. See what they're doing in the first half and make adjustments at halftime. They were the best third quarter team maybe in the history of the NBA. But if you take away Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, if Klay Thompson doesn't bail them out Game 6 in Oklahoma City, they lose to an inferior Thunder team. Right? The credit thing is a media thing, is a fan world. The real world, a real TV team is the sports version of who your head coach is. If your coach is a tough, hard-nosed, blue-collar guy, guess what your team's going to be? Right? Guess what they're going to do? Go and look, pick the team and pick the coach, and I will point out that's exactly who they are. I'm reading Gridiron Genius again. And he talks about when he was first with the San Francisco 49ers, he drove around Bill Walsh. That was his job. He drove Bill Walsh's Porsche and would drive around, and Bill Walsh would constantly doodle, constantly write down notes. Bill Walsh was meticulous. Every picture had to be just perfect. Bill Walsh even coached up Eddie DeBartolo on how to be a proper owner. Coached everything. And do you know what the San Francisco 49ers were? They were meticulous. Yes, they had an offense ahead. It was all accurate. Was it Bill Walsh? He's one of the greatest coaches in the history of any sport. Was it Joe Montana? He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of sport. But the timing of the two, you got the perfect quarterback who wasn't the first round pick, wasn't the first overall pick, didn't have the strongest coach he could be. WCBS News Time 413. Time now for staying healthy.
Huntington Station, Westwood, North Bayshore, Central Islip, Hawaiian Dam, and North Amity
bills are essential workers like first responders, working in grocery stores, cleaning companies, and landscaping.
And a lot of our residents don't have the ability to drive to a testing site, and therefore rely on public transportation. And again, you're putting people in harm's way when you do that.
Sophia Hall, WCBS News Radio 880.
The group Legal Aid is demanding Governor Cuomo and the Department of Corrections release 105 inmates statewide because of coronavirus. The group says 40 of the rest are close to their release dates. The group says correction yards and mess halls, clients report prisons of lack of cleaning supplies. They filed a series of petitions in court seeking the release of inmates in the city. One Rikers inmate WCBS News Time 418. You got a big wait. Tacoma has an update in the Grand Central Parkway. Down on the westbound side, the ramp coming off of the light. New Jersey, issues continue on the southbound Garden, and then by exit 89 in Lakewood, they've cleared up that debris that had the left lane blocked. Next traffic update, less than 10 minutes away on WCBS. Pennsylvania in the lead, and they're headed toward the New Jersey University. It's afternoon with just a showers. Blustery day. The day itself may not turn out so bad now. The sun will give way to increasing clouds. At WCBS, one Westchester. Temperature. Businesses like grocery, those stores in Greenburg, customers, and wiped out cart handles as American Life is making a comeback. The Milkman. Matt Morelli owns Westchester Milk, providing doorstep deliveries of milk, eggs, and other staples.
And a home delivery side, that picked up probably double.
More important than ever.
Got a bunch of people, the healthier I am and my family is.
Delivering milk and a bit of certainty in uncertain times. In Westchester County, Nick Calloway, CBS News.
422 at WCBS. It's Joe Connolly with our small business report, sponsored by B&B Bank, community banking from Montauk to Manhattan. When I heard that Bednar Studio in Brooklyn was making face shields for medical workers, I asked founder Michael Bednar this question: how did you know?
2 weeks. Those guys are all late to the game. Unfortunately, we got in early. We were able to connect with the city through the Brooklyn media. My team is used to working under tight deadlines and complex design challenges.
Michael Bednar says if you have a co-communicate, because she says your customers will remember what it wants to help your business,
like we are with a provider.
B&B Bank is as passionate about your business as you are. B&B Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Just $20 for New Jersey residents with code HMH20. Free for New Jersey residents 65 and older with code HMH free. Hackensack Meridian Health.
With a Marcus by Goldman Sachs no penalty CD. There's a typo, a fixed rate guaranteed and no penalties if you withdraw your balance early. That's right. There are no penalties if you withdraw your balance early. And you keep the interest you earn. You can money with Marcus by Goldman Sachs. Learn more at Marcus.com.
$500 minimum balance required to earn saved annual percentage yield, which may change before account is funded. May withdraw full balance beginning 7 days after funding. Rates as of March 20th, 2020. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC.
This is John Greenhouse. Your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoke. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about what you know. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969. Another spike in coronavirus deaths in New York and New Jersey, but there are some promising signs. We'll have the latest coming up in 5 minutes. At 4:25, Money News on WCBS. With the closing numbers, here's Bloomberg's Tracy Johnson.
Michael, the Fed helped Wall Street stretch its gains to levels not seen since this time last month. The Dow is up 780 points at 23,434. The Nasdaq's up 204 points at 8091. The S&P up 91 points. The Federal Reserve, the policymakers sent the right to Wall Street. The minutes of their mid-March meeting show they backed a forceful response to the coronavirus crisis. And for small businesses, more help may be on the way. Washington is working on a fourth stimulus package that would include $250 billion for small businesses. Amazon has paused plans to take the place of UPS and FedEx and deliver orders for other businesses. With UPS, I'm Bloomberg's Tracy Jones.
And will be entering western New Jersey within the next half hour to an hour. Scattered, but there are a few out there. Tonight's low 45 to 50. Tomorrow, though, it also starts to get very windy, 54 to 58. And on Friday, it's
more than just a story. This is WCBS News Radio 880.
New York and New Jersey hit another record for daily deaths from coronavirus. But Governor Cuomo says the all retail store employees and customers to wear masks. Bernie Sanders ends his Democratic presidential bid. It's partly sunny and 62 degrees on Wednesday, April 8th. Good afternoon, I'm Michael Wallace. It's 4:31 at WCBS. It appears New York is flagging the but there is a flip side. Nearly 800 the governor said basically return these immediately. The infection rate there is higher. Peter Herschel, WCBS, New Jersey governor looking at temporary thought of flattening the curve and says our Kevin Ricon has the latest from the governor. Social distancing rules won't be going away anytime soon in New Jersey, and so to prevent any issues in the upcoming primary election, from June 2nd to July 7th, he says it's his hope people will be allowed to go out by then. But if failing that, we eventually have to make the move to a statewide all vote-by-mail election, which has never happened before, by the way. We must make sure our systems are able to handle that. So they're at least buying more time to figure out how exactly to do things if people can't vote in person. The governor says the last thing they want to do is see a repeat of Wisconsin.
democracy cannot be a casualty of COVID-19. We want to ensure that every voter can vote without endangering their health or their safety.
In New Jersey, Kevin Rincon, WCBS News Radio 880.
For the first time, an inmate at a federal prison in New Jersey has come down with coronavirus. The prisoner tested positive yesterday. The inmate is at Fort Dix Correctional Institution in Burlington County. The prison says an employee there is also tested positive. Last week, federal prisons across the country instituted a lockdown period in which inmates are held in their cells for 14 days. New York City. That story from WCBS's Marla Diamond.
New data from the state health department on the ethnicities of New York City's coronavirus victims shows more than half of the 3,600 COVID-19 deaths. City Health Commissioner Dr. Aksiri Sparbo.
Where we are seeing these inequities are places and populations that have historically had higher rates of underlying chronic illnesses.
The mayor's reaction was blunt.
It's sick. It's troubling. It's wrong.
Mayor de Blasio says the city will double down on efforts to pump more resources into public hospitals.
The public hospitals are the greatest guarantee we have that there will be fairness and equality in saving lives.
The death rate is still rising, but hospitalizations are down, says the mayor, and the city will not need as many ventilators as originally thought. Marla Diamond, WCBS News Radio 880.
Hispanic communities on Long Island are suffering some of the highest rates of COVID-19 infections. WCBS's Sophia Hall has that update.
Nassau County Executive Laura Curran says there was a much different tone when she spoke to hospital executives. Days and weeks passed. We're on the plateau. There was a palpable difference in the tone of the conversation. All believe that at this time they have enough ventilators. The number of patients admitted to the hospital is lower than the number discharged. Another positive number to share with you. As of last 149 COVID patients on ventilators in our hospital. That is a decrease of 4 before. This is the first time we're seeing an increase in the number of ventilators being used. Another very good sign. Sophia Hall, WCBS News Radio 880.
Nassau County now has more than 16,000 cases of the coronavirus. Suffolk County has 14,000. 4:35 at WCBS. When you need to know about the rails, we've got you covered with up-to-the-minute transit information powered by Clever Commute. If you ride NJ Transit, LIRR, or Metro North, get the free Clever Commute app. Visit clevercommute.com and keep tuned to WCBS News Radio 880 for traffic and weather together on the 8s.
I am doing it all. The water, the fiber, the exercise, but I still have constipation with belly pain, straining, and bloating that keep coming back. Chronic medical condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C.
Linzess, linaclotide, is a prescription medication that treats adults with IBS with constipation. Linzess helps relieve belly pain and lets you have more sneeze or cough. For the latest information, text COVID to 692-692 or visit
200 Money News at 25 and 50.
Election strategy all through primary season. Download it wherever you get your podcasts.
Since 1994, AmericanEagle.com, a family-owned web developer with over 500 technology professionals, smiles of integrated services, including web design, system integration, digital marketing, and com is committed to build at 877.
What do you do? That's why Dell Small Business Technology is storage, networking, plus to help infrastructure. Respond online today. Someday was tomorrow, Friday. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.com. Paid for by U.S. Census Parkway.
Southbound 100 is still some delays in the lane towards the Whitestone Expressway. Officers seeing showers pop up, and it seems to be moving significantly cloudy sky over 50 tomorrow.
Yesterday in New York, 170 closed nearly 3.5% higher. The 23 is WCBS News Radio 880. Next out of home. Another investors were heartened by green shoots of progress in New York. Able to remember and extreme chains have died of the virus, including two responding to the wrongful death states faced increased exposure to their homes.
CBS News Radio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app. Download it today.
Your news, live and local. This is WCBS News Radio 880, a radio.com station. It's 62 degrees right now in the city. Still partly sunny. Some areas could see a shower at some point later. Low tonight of 50 in the city. WCBS News Time is 5:03. Coronavirus deaths hit a new one-day high in New York State. 779 people died overnight, bringing the number of those who have died due to COVID-19 to 6,268. WCBS's Peter Haskell has the latest data from the State Health Department showing 34 COVID-19, followed by African Americans, 8%. States make up 20% of the deaths. Asians.
That's we don't accept, meaning we have to fight in new ways. We have to develop new strategies to address what is now a documented disparity.
The mayor needs nearly as many ventilators as first anticipated. Marla Diamond, WCBS News Radio 880. WCBS takes a reliable partner to right wrong turns. That's the rule. An expert in helping you navigate the rigmarole of real estate. A trusted ally who knows and represents your rights. You can all the journey home. Who we are. When you're diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, 1 million questions flood your mind. How can this be happening? Am I going to be able to work? What's a subtype? What do I do now? We know. We went through it too. But once you start speak up and have a more informed conversation with your doctor. Some questions have answers. Visit findyournbcvoice.com. establish at least 1 hour a day during which the stores only open to customers over 60, to limit the number of customers allowed in the stores, hand sanitizers, unused gloves, and face masks so we can physically stay. Symptoms consistent with coronavirus. The Western Democrats served in the legislature from 1983 to 2010. And former colleagues say he remained a mentor and companion in state government during his retirement. He was tested for the results did not yet come back. He was 73 years old. WCBS News Time is 5:11.
To my WCBS 880 listeners, we know how important it is for you to stay connected during this time. That's why I'm ready to support you. Their advanced fiber network is prepared to meet the demands of homes and businesses. So whether you're working, connecting with loved ones, or taking classes online, you don't miss a beat. Plus, they're even helping TV customers stay entertained at home by offering free previews of several TV networks, including Showtime, Disney Junior, Cooking Channel, Hallmark Channel, and more. So the whole family has more shows and movies to watch at no extra cost. Personally, I've been using my TV and internet at home now more than ever. My family is entertained, watching tons of shows and movies, and thanks to optimum speeds of up to 1 gig, I'm able to stay connected to all of you. For more on what they're doing, visit Optimum.com. Keep you connected.
WCBS News Time is 5:12. It's time now for sports. Tom Brady did a 2-hour and 15-minute interview with Howard Stern on SiriusXM. He said he was in tears when telling Patriots owner Robert Kraft and head coach Bill Belichick that he was leaving New England. He also said he realized before last year that it would likely be his final season in Foxborough, and that he knew, quote, our time was coming to an end. The 6-time Super Bowl champ also added he has no animosity toward Belichick, and that he's grateful his former coach allowed him to be the best that he could be. WCBS News Time is 5:13.
I'm WCBS anchor Steve. Stopping the spread of the coronavirus is a mission for all of us.
We need to show each other support.
WCB or go to radio.com/stay connected.
With today's energy prices, you need windows that will stand up to the elements. Call 877-44-ALLURE or visit Allure Home Improvements at ALURE.com to set up your Infinity from Marvin installation.
Home Care provides unparalleled home care 24/7 to those in need. They are not just another agency. Link is family, serving all 5 boroughs to make the transition to home care smooth and easy for everyone. Visit linkhomecare.com to learn more. Link Home Care. You've got to think Link.
You are never more than 15 minutes from the big story on WCBS. Good afternoon. I'm Linda Lopez. 3 things to know at 5:15. 779 people have died of coronavirus in 24 hours in New York. That's the biggest single-day increase in deaths in the state. However, Governor Cuomo says hospitalizations are down, and New York appears to be flattening the curve. 2, new data shows Hispanic New Yorkers have been hit hardest by city. 1,100 new cases of coronavirus in Nassau and 6 deaths. Suffolk County Laura Curran says there was a much different hospital executive. All believe that at this time they have enough ventilators. She says the number of patients admitted to the hospital than patients on ventilators in our hospitals. That is a decrease of 24 from the day before. The first News Radio 880. The mayor of Elizabeth is calling for an investigation into the New Jersey nursing home where at least 22 residents died amid the coronavirus. WCBS's Kevin Rincon has that story.
The Elizabeth Nursing and Rehabilitation Center has had 23 residents die in less than a month. Of those, at least 13 tested positive for the coronavirus.
And the other 10
says this one long-term care center has been upended by COVID-19.
Was hospitalized with coronavirus. The nurse in charge was quarantined with coronavirus. And other people who worked there were also self-quarantined.
as possibly infected. He's calling on the state attorney general to investigate, in part alleging the nursing home failed to notify family members of what was going on. In New Jersey, Kevin Rincon, WCBS Radio 880.
Society is calling on Governor Cuomo and the Department of Corrections to release 105 inmates who are either close to their release date or at risk for coronavirus. In a letter, Legal Aid said they've had clients who reported the facilities where they are locked up have run out of cleaning supplies. And they say the inmates also still congregate by the hundreds. That as of April 6th, 286 inmates in Rikers Island alone who tested positive for COVID-19. One Rikers inmate died from the virus Sunday. WCBS News Time is 5:18. Time now for traffic and weather. Together on the 8th, and here's Tom Kaminsky.
All right, couple to West on the there's one lane is blocked, and also on the northbound side of 6 in Pittsburgh. Southbound on the Connecticut Turnpike from Westport into Norwalk from 17 to 15. That's going to be running right through the night. The northbound side, we've had some delays in through that area, but all in all, the Connecticut Turnpike and the Merritt Parkway look to be in good shape. The construction work continuing on the New Jersey Turnpike on the western spur. Southbound from 15W down through 15E, continuing on down through 14. Westbound is blocking the two left lanes are going to be closed there, so that western spur just anticipate that. Alternate side parking rules will remain suspended at least right through the 14th of April. Meter rules remain in effect. I'm Tom Kaminsky, WCBS Traffic Center.
Let's get our weather the Weather Center. Here's meteorologist Craig Allen.
Yeah, well, good. The sun is shining for a good portion of the area this afternoon and this evening now. There's still a lot of cloudiness over central and eastern portions of Connecticut, eastern Long Island, and a cluster of clouds from showers that's moving into central New Jersey now. They came out of eastern Pennsylvania and making their way across into New Jersey, south of 78 approximately, but just to around 195. And it's a brief heavy shower that goes on by, and then it just remains mostly cloudy for the night. So 45 to 54 tonight. Tomorrow's a different story. Showers will be first developing. It's not a matter of clearing. They're first moving in. And a chance of a thunderstorm, too, during the afternoon. Becoming windy. High 54 to 58. Partly cloudy Thursday night. And Friday, partly cloudy with a passing shower or two and a very windy afternoon. Blustery day. High 50 to 55 on Friday. Stay connected with the Altice 5-day forecast. Sun and clouds mixed on Saturday. It's a good start to the weekend, mid-50s. And now some optimism, a good ending, most of it anyway, to the weekend. Easter Sunday should be starting with sun, then the clouds increase, and now the rain looks like it will hold off until dark and Sunday night, then go into part of Monday, and the Sunday high will be up near 60. Currently in the city, a mix of sun and clouds, 63, humidity 51%, and a north wind 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Thanks, Craig. WCBS News Time is 5:20. Broadway shows in New York City will remain shut down through June 7th. The Broadway League making the announcement. Those holding tickets for performances through June 7th will receive an email from their point of purchase with information on exchanges and refunds. Well, a deep breathing technique may help coronavirus patients feel better. A British doctor posted a YouTube video showing how to do it, and millions of people have already watched it. He says patients should take a deep breath, hold it for 5 seconds, and release. Do this 5 times, and then at the end of the 6th breath, you cough strongly and repeat the cycle twice. That's followed by having the patient lie on their stomach in bed for the next 10 minutes. USA Today said it's believed the technique helps get to the lower part of a person's lungs to expand so that any mucus that's collecting there can be dislodged and coughed out. Well, Mr. Rogers famously said his mom was telling him as a boy that when scary things are happening, always to look for the helpers. In our continuing series about difference makers in our community, WCBS reporter Sean Adams found one of those helpers, a New York City EMT who wants New York to know someone will always be there to help when they need it.
Brooklyn EMT Brendan Charles says these are hectic, frightening times, but he's ready to do his job in spite of coronavirus. The training every guy is prepared us for life. He's 22 years old, just 2 years in an ambulance, and he
entrusts his training and his senior officers at Station 59 in Canarsie.
I know they're giving us the best equipment to help protect ourselves. Hopefully everybody gets through safe. We all want to go home safe to our families.
If dispatch says a call involves a person with a fever or a cough, they suit up in full protective gear.
I mean, just always prepared, because you never know what kind of situation you'll be walking into when you're walking to people's houses.
The calls are non-stop. The threat is constant. The EMTs support each other.
I can't speak for other stations, but everybody in my station are all jokes. We just joke around, keep each other happy. We're all tired here, but we keep each other going.
His pledge to New York City?
Yeah, Rose gonna be here.
Sean Adams, WCBS News Radio 80.
Difference Makers is supported by New York Community Bank and the NYCB, family of banks serving the needs of communities since 1859. Well, a new report finds 2 out of every 3 U.S. jobs cannot be done from home.
If you are able to work from home during this coronavirus outbreak, you are in the minority. According to a new report from the National Bureau of Economic Research, just 37% of U.S. jobs can be done via telecommuting. That's 1 in 3. Research shows those most likely to be able to work at home are in higher wage positions. The highest percentage of jobs that can be done remotely, about 83% can work from home. Just 4% of those jobs can be done remotely. Jim Kennedy, CBS News.
WCBS News Time, 5:23.
I'm Andrew Jenks, host of the hit podcast documentary series Gangster Capitalism, which focuses on white-collar corruption in America. Last season, we told the story of the college admissions scandal and how it rocked our education system. Now, we're back with an all-new season. This time, the spotlight is on the most powerful special interest group in the country, the National Rifle Association. The NRA's mission is to fight for Second Amendment rights. But this story isn't about guns. The NRA is at a crossroads, its very future in question. And it's all because of one thing: money. From C13 Originals, a division of Cadence 13. Join us for Gangster Capitalism, Season 2, the NRA. Download and subscribe for free on radio.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your shows.
WCBS News Time is 5:25. It's time for Money News now. Here's Bloomberg's Tracy Junkie.
Linda, the Dow is at its highest in a month after rising 780 points to 23,434. The NASDAQ is up 204 points at 8,091. The S&P are up at 91 points, and the gains range between 2.5% and 3.5%. The Bloomberg WCBS Land Rover Tri-State Business Index is up more than 4%. 1 week from today, JetBlue is suspending service from LaGuardia and the Westchester County and Stewart International Airports, and JetBlue will depart JFK and Newark just 30 times a day. All 5 airports usually see 215 JetBlue departures per day. The service has the last 2 weeks. Passengers are canceling flights faster than the airlines are. TSA says more than 100,000 passengers boarded flights at U.S. airports yesterday. That's a 95% drop from year-ago levels and the smallest number of passengers in almost 15 years. We're going back to the early 1960s when the jet age was just beginning. With Money News at 25 and 55 on WCBS, I'm Bloomberg's Tracy Junkie.
Indoor mold is a health hazard and requires a test before removal. If indoor mold is without decay, we follow health and safety protocols.
putting themselves in harm's way, answering the call, and putting others first. You are the reason why we are the best and bravest firefighting force on earth. We are all in this together, and we are asking the public for their help. Stay home, wash your hands, keep your social distance, and only call 911 for urgent emergencies. Thank you.
At the Bronx Care Health System, the top priority is the health and safety of patients, their families, and the community, as well as employees. As the coronavirus pandemic evolves, Bronx Care's physicians, nurses, and all its employees are on the front line responding to this crisis with expertise and caring for the Bronx by opening its arms to heal, to teach, and to care. At least one lane is blocked, so we do have a delay there on the westbound side of the belt, just prior to that ramp going to the Verrazano Bridge. Now, the rest of the trip on the Gowanus and BQE, we've had a little bit of volume as we get outbound side of the Gowanus toward the Belt Parkway split. Northbound side of the BQE seeing just a little bit of a delay as we get on up toward the LIE, but otherwise no problems there. The LIE and the northern and southern state parkways look to be in good shape. Right through Nassau and into Suffolk counties, we have the construction work set up on the Connecticut Turnpike southbound between 17 in Westport and 15 in Norwalk. We have at least one lane blocked. We do see a little bit of a delay there. So marking the volume on the Post Road too into Norwalk Merritt Parkway. That looks to be good. 684 northbound at exit 6 in Katona, we had a stall there. And we've also had the overnight, or I should say the ongoing construction on the New Jersey Turnpike Western Spur. 15W down through 15E, down through the area of interchange 14. The left lane is blocked there. Here comes Greg with the forecast.
And we do have those showers in central New York of 195. So that whole central corridor right there is tomorrow, shower 58. Friday is very windy. Just a chance of a passing shower, partly cloudy otherwise, but it's cool too with that wind. Friday's high 50 to 55.
More than just the headlines. This is WCBS News Radio 880.
We are expecting a press conference from President Trump and the White House Coronavirus Task Force. Just a few minutes. We'll bring that to you live as soon as it begins. Coronavirus deaths hit another new one-day high in New York. 779 more people have died from COVID-19 in the state. There are more than 140,000 cases. Governor Cuomo says the curve appears to be flattening, but says that will change if we change what we're doing. The coronavirus is having a larger impact in the Bronx in hospitalizations and deaths than in any other borough. And Bernie Sanders announces he's dropping out of the presidential race. 62 degrees and sunny on this Wednesday, April 8th. Good afternoon, I'm Linda Lopez. WCBS News Time is 5:31. Governor Cuomo revealed we've hit another one-day high when it comes to COVID-19 deaths, 779. WCBS's Peter Haskell joins us live now. So, Peter, what exactly is the good news?
People are still going into the hospital, but the number today is significantly lower than the number it was days ago. And if you look at these numbers plotted on a graph, you will see the numbers are flattening. Hence the term flattening the curve. So this is good news.
But Governor Cuomo also said he's not trying to have any kind of celebration about that news.
Yeah, his concern is that if people go out immediately and think, hey, we're out of the woods, we're done, we're going to have problems again, those hospitalization numbers could jump back up again. He wants the restrictions to continue to people, for people to continue doing what they're doing, not socializing, not gathering in crowds, not going out when they don't have to, and making sure that these numbers continue to go down where we can feel comfortable going back out.
And we learned today that Broadway theaters are going to remain shut down, but they have plans to reopen June 7th. Is that optimistic, thinking things can be back to normal by then?
It seems that way. The governor says Broadway will not be a barometer. He's not going to base any decisions that he makes on what the theater industry is doing. He is hopeful that at some point businesses and schools will get whether it's later, it's too hard to say. He is not going to make any commitment to any kind of date. The restrictions now go until April 29th. he is holding on to that. That date will likely be extended. But the governor said there is no indication at this point that June 7th or any other specific day will be the day that business can be back up and running again.
WCBS's Peter Haskell with the latest information. Thanks so much. The city, the coronavirus is having a more devastating impact in the Bronx than in any other borough. Those sickened by COVID-19 in the Bronx are more likely to die from the disease than those in any other borough. Joining us now to talk about this is Bronx City Council member Richie Torres. Mr. Torres, we know you yourself were diagnosed with COVID. How are you feeling? And the deaths that are coming from coronavirus. Is enough attention being paid and is enough of a response being given by the city and the state to the COVID-19 outbreak in the Bronx?
Well, the hospitals in the Bronx, like Lincoln and St. Barnabas, are dangerously overwhelmed. You know, the data is crystal clear that COVID-19 has had a disproportionate impact on communities of color. So we know where the need is, but it's unclear where the resources are. There's been no release of data on the resources that have been given to hospitals in the Bronx that are on the front line of serving the communities hardest hit.
I know that several Bronx officials sent a letter to Governor Cuomo asking for another facility to be opened in the Bronx to house more hospital beds and for more resources. What are you looking to be done?
We need more healthcare capacity in the Bronx. We are dangerously overburdened and under-resourced. You know, just by way of illustration, take Manhattan in the Bronx. Even though Manhattan has a much larger population than the Bronx is double, more than double, the number of fatalities. And the data indicates that 86% of the fatalities have at least one comorbidity, primarily hypertension as well as diabetes. Hypertension is more than 3 times more prevalent in the South Bronx than in the financial district. Diabetes is more than 5 times more prevalent in the South Bronx than in the financial district. So we know that poverty predisposes people to the worst effects of COVID-19, and we should be concentrating those resources in the lowest income communities.
Are there any community or environmental factors that are contributing to the Bronx having these higher rates for 100,000 of positive COVID-19 cases?
I continue to hear complaints from frontline healthcare workers in the Bronx about a lack of medical supplies and lack of personal protective equipment. And keep in mind, the Bronx has a greater representation in the public workforce and in service occupation. So there are frontline Bronx employees in the public workforce and the healthcare workforce who are risking their lives so that most of us can have the luxury of working from home.
Can you tell us what your experience with your diagnosis, your testing, and your care was?
You know, thankfully I had manageable symptoms. You know, since I have a history of asthma, I was carefully monitoring my breathing. But I will tell you that my asthma was much worse as a child than it has been in my adulthood. And largely because when I was 20, I was living out of public housing. So while I was living in public housing, I had severe struggles with asthma. And ever since moving out of public housing, my asthma has abated over time. So, you know, if you're living in conditions of mold and mildew that are known to trigger asthma, if you're living in a neighborhood of high pollution, then you're at much greater risk of becoming critically ill or dying from COVID-19.
That's Bronx City Councilman Richie Torres joining us. Thanks so much. WCBS News Time is 5:37.
When you need to know the latest news, social distancing is working. You see those numbers coming down. When you're looking for answers,
We'll only come out of this if we stay together, staying apart.
facts over fear. This city is fighting back with everything we've got. What you need to know, we've got you covered. WCBS News Radio 880.
WCBS News Time is 5:38. It's time for traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's head over to the traffic center. What are you seeing out there, Tom Kaminsky?
We're seeing a little bit of better news now, Linda, on 684, the northbound side. We had a stall around exit 6 in Katona. That's cleared, seeing the delay cleared out of there. as well. We've had a stall on the Cross County eastbound right around the Hutch. That was off to the shoulder. A note for you now on the Bronx River southbound. This is right around Oak Street in Yonkers. We have a stall there and one lane is closed. And seeing delays on the Belt Parkway on the westbound side of the Belt as we get right at the ramp to the Verrazano Bridge. We have a crash. We had at least one lane lost. Springbrook at Route 100, a collision there has been cleared away. Those travel lanes open. The construction work still in place on the Connecticut Turnpike out of Westport into Norwalk from 17 on down through 15. That's going to be the case right through the night. We go back on over to the rails. At this point, for the most part, things are on a close to schedule. We did have a couple of canceled trains on New Jersey Transit. They are running on a President's Day schedule with some enhancements. That's been the case for about a month now in through this entire thing. New Jersey Transit buses, they have the schedule changes as well. And the essential service plan is still in place for the subways, for the LIRR, as well as on Metro North. That is pinned right to the top of our Twitter feed at WCBS 880 Traffic. I'm Tom Kaminsky in the WCBS Traffic Center.
And taking a look at our weather forecast for the rest of the afternoon, we should see some sunny skies, but some areas will get a shower, possibly out on Long Island and Connecticut. Low tonight will be around 50 degrees. Tomorrow, increasingly windy, and we will see some later. On Friday, windy and chilly again. Perhaps another chance of a shower. High will be just 52. Saturday will be sunny. High 55, but your Easter Sunday, we could see some rain. It will turn cloudy. The high will be 58 degrees on Sunday. Right now in Manhattan, partly sunny skies. It's 62 degrees. WCBS News Time is 5:40. Bernie Sanders is out of the Democratic presidential race. He told supporters on a video stream,
"Together we have transformed American consciousness as to what kind of nation we can become."
His decision makes former Vice President Joe Biden the presumptive Democratic nominee to take on President Trump in November. Sanders says he will stay on the ballot and continue collecting delegates in an effort to exert influence on the Democrats' agenda. Governor Ned Lamont says the best way to protect voters in Connecticut's June primary will be to allow everyone to vote by mail. Lamont tells WCBS that would require a change in rules Chairman Pat Boy on WCBS this morning. The MTA has been hit particularly hard. 1,500 MTA employees have tested positive for coronavirus, and 41 workers have died.
commerce, and digital health, optimizing every organization's potential. Their world-class data center hosts thousands of websites and millions of transactions. In times like these, a reliable partner has never been more important. AmericanEagle.com provides a full range of integrated services, including web design, system integration, digital marketing, and hosting. This too shall pass. We will be stronger when the crisis subsides, and AmericanEagle.com is committed to building your organization's digital presence, driving growth and opportunity. Call AmericanEagle.com at 877-WebNow1. 877-WebNow1.
You are never more than 15 minutes from the big stories on WCBS.
Good afternoon. I'm Linda Lopez. 3 things to know at 5:45. 1, 779 people have died of coronavirus in 24 hours in New York. That's the biggest single-day increase in deaths in the state. However, Governor Cuomo says New York appears to be flattening the curve. 2, new data shows Hispanic New Yorkers have been hit hardest by coronavirus in the city, and the Bronx is showing an outsized number of hospitalizations and deaths due to COVID-19. And 3, in New Jersey, the numbers are showing 2 very different stories when it comes to the coronavirus.